Hello and welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and an absolutely beautiful looking puzzle today called A Fistful of Circles by the great Marty Sears. Now this isn't, Marty is prolific, he produces so many puzzles, but this is an older puzzle of Marty's that we've had a couple of recent recommendations to try. I don't know why we didn't look at it when this first came out, but I think it's been out for over a year. And it's got counting circles in it, and in the title I rather think this must be a reference to the Phistomefel ring. Don't worry if you don't know what any of this means. I mean, I might be speaking in code if you're new to the channel. I will explain everything, I hope, when I attempt to solve the puzzle in a few moments' time. But Marty's puzzles are simply awesome. They are simply awesome. It's the best way of describing them, and they are always a treat. Now, this is, I think, average difficulty. I actually forgot to look at that. So anyway, we'll see how we get on. And now it's another beautiful day here in the UK. We've had some nice days since I've returned from Tokyo. My window is open. There may be a little bit of bird song in the background. But it all adds to the atmosphere, yeah. So forgive me and forgive my voice as well. Obviously, I got some sort of lurgy on my travels, but hopefully my voice will hold up, and I'll make it to the end of the video. Now, let's talk about a little bit of news around the world of Sudoku. We have released a brand new competition over on Patreon. It is our monthly reward for April. And it is themed, of course, on April Fools. And I have remembered at last to get this sort of this counter up that Blobs has created for us, which is I don't know when this. It says 50 minutes ago, but I haven't refreshed this today. So I'm going to refresh it in a moment. But you can see, whenever this was created, already 480 people had solved the first puzzle. But let's see. And 29 had solved the final puzzle. So let's see where we are now. It may not change, because I may have, whenever this refreshed itself, it may have been. Oh no, it's not working. Oh no, it is working. There we go. So it has updated. 635 people have now solved the first puzzle, and 66 have solved all of them. That is terrific. A couple of the puzzles in this pack are a little bit harder than in recent packs, so very, very well done to everybody. And this is great. Look, Blobs has put the prize in lights here, this beautiful sort of pillowcase or cushion cover, handmade by Emily Williams, who has been supporting the channel staunchly for so long. Emily, thank you for all you do for us, but also thank you for creating this. This is a great prize, and yeah, if you want a chance to win it, do tackle the monthly reward. If you do get stuck, by the way, they're over on the Discord server. There is the Patreon only chat channel. There are hints available there. There's a lot of community sharing of information, so you might be able to get unstuck if you do get stuck. Now, I'm going to continue my journey to catch up on birthday announcements from when I was away. Now, I've also got actual birthdays for today, so let's run through those. Holly, I think it is your birthday today. Your best friend Danny wrote to us and told us that you've been watching for years. Well, Holly, thank you for doing that. And I hope you have a great birthday today with, of course, a large slice of chocolate cake. Luna, you've turned 17 today. And you were kind enough, actually. You didn't want to send pictures of the cake that you were planning to have for fear that it would make me feel hungry. And you sent us some pictures of your dogs instead, which was great. So, Luna, thank you for doing that. Very considerate. And I hope you do get the chocolate cake you're after. Next, Sam. Your girlfriend Greta wrote to us, and told us firstly that you both watch, secondly that you are her favourite Sudoku solver, so that's going to make me feel jealous, and she is excited for all of the puzzle solves that the two of you have in your future together, which I think is a lovely way of expressing a sentiment. And Sam, I hope you have a great birthday today. Now the next birthdays are all late, but only late because I was away, and so I had to pre-record videos. So I hope you can forgive me. Anne, And your sister Sally, as usual, wrote to us. It was your birthday on March the 29th, and I did work out how old you are. Sally provided a cryptic indication, which is that your birthday would look like one less than the secret if it was written in hexadecimal, which I'll leave those of you who are mathematically minded or even computer literate to work out Anne's age. But Anne, I hope you had a great birthday. Doug, you turned 57, I think, also on March the 29th. You're over there in the Bay Area. What a beautiful part of the world that is. And we're planning to spend your birthday geocaching and eating chocolate cake made by your mother, as you have done for the last over 50 years. That is absolutely brilliant. That is brilliant. So, Doug, I hope you had that birthday, and I hope you enjoyed your geocaching. Next, I think in Canada, I might be wrong about the location, but I think I'm right. Jordan, you turned 35, and I know this because your wife Megan wrote to us. And Jordan, I hope you had a great birthday. And then finally, I'm not sure of the date of this one. No, I'm not sure, but Bridget, you turned 62, and I know this because your brother Simon wrote to us and told us, I'm not even sure you watch, Bridget. I think you just overhear Simon watching the videos. So I apologise if I disturb your day, Bridget, and I hope you can forgive me, and I hope you had a great birthday. And that's all the news. Let's have a look at A Fistful of Circles by Marty Sears. And yeah, these are the rules of this colourful puzzle. We have got normal Sudoku rules apply, and that means we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. A circle digit indicates exactly how many circles contain that digit. So, if that square was a 5, then we'd have to put 5 5s in circles. If it was a 6, you'd have to put 6 6s in circles. So it's a really cool rule. I still think that there is room to go with circle puzzles. We've seen so many brilliant puzzles with circles. But the rules continue. They say digits along a purple line do not repeat and form a consecutive sequence and can be arranged in any order. So imagine this square was a 1. Then we know that the purple line overall has to contain a consecutive sequence, so it's going to be the digits 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we can put those in any order we like. They don't have to be in order. It's not like a thermometer. Next, we've got adjacent digits along a green line must have a difference of at least 5. So if that was a 3, this would have to be an 8 or a 9 in order to be at least 5 different from 3. Oh, we've nearly run out of rules. Digits along a red line must alternate between odd and even. Okay, so sometimes these are called parity lines. So if this was a 1, that's obviously odd. So both of those digits would have to be even, and then this would have to be odd again. And they are all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, okay. I am going to presume, or am I? I was going to say that there is this thing called the Phistomefel ring. And Phistomefel, as in the setter Phistomefel, who sort of first discovered or named the Phistomefel ring, is spelt with a PH, which is also the way fistful is written in the title of this puzzle. So I am presuming that we are going to have to use the Phistomefel ring. And if that is the case, I will prove it for you. The Phistomefel ring is this theorem that says that these blue digits here, these 16 digits that surround the central 3x3 box of any Sudoku, this is true for any Sudoku, these digits are the identical 16 digits that you will find in the corners of a puzzle. This is always true. Now, let me just spend a couple of seconds, because Marty is tricky. Marty is tricky, and he would find it hilariously funny to call this the Fistful of Circles, and it to have nothing to do with the Phistomefel ring. I can see there are 30 circles in the puzzle, and the only reason I can see that is that there's sort of one gap here. So I know that there are 16 cells in the corners, obviously, and that one's the only one that hasn't got a circle, and there are 16 cells in the ring, and that one hasn't got a circle. So there are 30 circles. It feels like it's something to do with parity to me, in the sense that sorry, I realise I'm being inarticulate. I'm just trying to think about this. So all I'm thinking is that, let's say I put the number 5 in the blue, in a circle. Well, then we know that repeats. So let's say that's a 5. We know that has to repeat now in orange. So every time I put a number in blue, it repeats in orange. And it feels very much like even parity is natural regarding the blue and the orange. But the only way, the only way you can put an odd number, the only way you can put an odd number in either orange or blue is if it goes in these gappy cells, I think. That's what my brain is sort of suggesting. Because let's say I put 5s an even number of times, and so I don't put the 5 in this cell here, in this ring. Then every time I put the 5 in, it has to be duplicated in orange. So I could have a 5 here now, and I could have a 5 there now, for example. But what do I do with the final 5 that I have to put into the puzzle, if I want to put 5s in the puzzle at all? And my point is that if I decide to put the extra 5 into blue, let's say I put it there. Oh no, that won't go there. Let's say I put it there. Now obviously I've got to put it in orange again now, but I can't put it in a circle in orange, because then it will have appeared 6 times in a circle. So the only place I could put it would be there. But if I put if I put the 5th 5, on the other hand, let's say I put it there, so now I've got 5 circled 5s again, but I've got an unequal number of 5s in orange and blue, so I have to correct. Oh, so that's actually a bad place to put it. Let's put it there. Then it would have to go there. So we're all, yes, okay, I've got it. So we're always balancing the number of, there's always going to be an even number of appearances of any digit that I put in blue and orange. Blue and orange combined are going to have an even number of any digit that you put in blue and orange, because they duplicate. Now, so the only way of putting odd numbers into circles in this puzzle is going to be by using these 2 squares. And that means that there are 2 odd numbers at most in circles, and there are 2 odd numbers in circles, and I can tell you that for a fact, because let's say I populate the circles with all the even digits. So 2, 4, 6 and 8 are in circles. 2, 4, 6 and 8 only add up to 20. So I would populate 20 of the circles with even digits. So for example, if 8 was a circle digit, then there would be 8 8s in circles. If 6 was a circle digit, there would be 6 6s in circles. So I'd consume 20 of the circles using the even digits, but there are 30 circles. So I need odd digits to help me, and I can't only have one odd digit, because the biggest odd digit is 9. And in fact, 9 in this puzzle is not circled, because there is no circled 9. There are only 9 9s in this puzzle, and there is no circled 9 in the middle box. So there's a maximum of 8 circled 9s, which is not enough. If we put a 9 in a circle, it has to be 9 circled 9s. So now, sorry, I'm going off on a complete rant here, but now, so, right. Oh. Okay. But we don't... I was going to say, so this means that 2, 4, 6 and 8 are all definitely circled, and then 2 odd digits that add up to 10 to give us the other 10 circles that we need. That's not necessarily true, I've realised, because if 2 wasn't circled, then I could have 2 odd digits summing to 12, couldn't I? And that would still get me up to 30 circles altogether. Oh, sorry, ignore these 5s here. Yeah, hopefully the principle was understood in terms of what I was trying to do. Okay, all right, but crucially, all of this is a segue to me admitting that Marty is using the Phistomefel ring. So we are going to have to prove the Phistomefel ring, because all of these conclusions are entirely based off the fact that I am saying that there is complete duplication in the puzzle between the blue cells and the orange cells. So if you're looking at me saying, why? I did a number file video on this, actually. It was one of the great sort of privileges of my life, I think. But I will prove it to you. It's a very quick proof, but quite pretty. So I'm going to start by highlighting some cells in blue. Those ones. Now we can describe exactly, I don't know how the digits are going to be filled within the blue area of the grid, but I know exactly overall what these blue cells contain. And that is because this is 2 rows of the puzzle, row 3 and row 7, and 2 complete boxes of the puzzle in box 4 and box 6. In other words, it's 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9, isn't it? Because this row is going to have the digits 1 to 9 once each. That's the rules of Sudoku tell us that. So will this row, so will this box, so will this box. So these blue cells are 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. I'm now going to highlight something else. I'm going to highlight these cells in orange. Now, those orange cells, that's 4 complete columns of the Sudoku, column 1, 2, 8 and 9. So they are obviously, the orange cells overall, also contain 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. So the blue set of digits and the orange set of digits are exactly the same. So, what could we say if we remove this cell from orange and blue? What could we say about what remains in orange and what remains in blue? And the crucial thing that you have to understand is that although now I can't say exactly what the total disposition of digits is in what remains in orange, or the total disposition is of the digits that remain in blue, because I know I had 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9 before I took this out, but I don't know what's in that cell. But the crucial thing to know is that if I had the same thing in both sets before, and I take the same cell out of both sets, what remains in blue and what remains in orange must still be the same. And the same is going to be true for every cell that has two flashes in it. I can remove all of these cells, and because I'm removing the same thing at each step from both sets, what remains now whatever remains in blue must still be the same as whatever remains in orange, because they were the same before I took anything out of them, and then whenever I took anything out, I took the same thing out of both. So, there we go, proof, QED. Blue, 16 cells of blue surrounding the central 3x3 box are the same as these 16 cells in the corners. And this is going to allow me to use the logic that we were talking about, i.e., because whatever I put in blue is exactly mapped into orange, we've got even numbers of digits. And the only way I can put odd digits in is with these 2 cells, therefore, given the circles constraint. So these are both odd, I suppose, is what we can say. No. Can I say anything else? I know 9 is not either of these digits. Because I need these two digits to be circled digits in order to create odd circled numbers. So, okay. What do I need 8 to be circled in the puzzle? That feels like I do, but I'm not sure. Let me think. So if yes, I do. Imagine 8 wasn't circled in this puzzle. Well, then the maximum number of even circles we could have would be 6, 4, and 2, which sum to 12. So I'd have to have my two odd digits would have to add up to 18. Well, that's clearly impossible. 9 and 7 only add up to 16, and I'm not even allowed to use 9. So 8 is circled, right? So this is good. This is good, believe it or not, because if 8 is circled, again, there is no circled 8 in box 5, is there? There are no circles at all there. So every other box contains a circled 8, which looks very interesting for those boxes where the circles are all on lines. Right, and okay, you can sort of get an inkling as to what the Phistomefel ring is doing there as well, because these 8 pencil marks plonk 8s into the corners, don't they? But, okay, we can still do better than that. That cannot be an 8. That is going to be an odd digit. 8 is on the whisper. This is a parity line, so that's really boring. Yeah, this is sort of me at a party. I've just dismissed myself. 8's in the corner being boring. Yeah. Okay. Well, 8 is my favourite number, so that's completely consistent with me. Now, what are these lines? So we've got Remban. Right. 7. Oh, this is beautiful. Right. So I now know 7 is a circled digit. And the reason in fact, I know exactly. This is 876. This is massive. Right, sorry. Look at this line. Or this line, actually, the logic is the same. We know 9 is not circled. Again, there can't be a circled 9 in box 5, so there's no circled 9 in the puzzle. So this is a run of consecutive digits that includes 8. So it must be 876. This must be 876. And now 7, we now know 7 is a circled digit. So 7 has to be in one of these two squares and must be there, and that's our first digit in the puzzle. Isn't that beautiful? That is so beautiful to me. So now, what's more, I think we can do more. Because now what we know is there are going to be 4 circled 7s in blue, don't we? Because then there'll be 4 7s in orange, one of which is uncircled, and that's going to mean overall we have 7 circled 7s. So where do we put so there must be a 7. This is so brilliant, because now I'm going to be able to do this whisper. There must be a 7 in here, because by Sudoku, yeah, I mean, this must be right, mustn't it? In order to put 4 7s in this blue area, you can't use this cell, for example, because then you could only put 3 7s around it. Yeah, so there is a 7. So look at this whisper now. In fact, this is really good. This is really good. Marty is a genius. Marty is a complete genius. This puzzle is genius. It is. That's the best way of describing it. This is completely original use of the Phistomefel ring. I'm giggling away to myself because it's so funny. Okay. Right, what I want to think about now is that we know that even if all the even numbers are circled, we get to 20 from that 8642 plus 7 is 27. So is 1 a circled digit in this puzzle? No. Definitely not, because that'll only get us up to 28 circles at a maximum. So 1 is an uncircled digit. Now I want to look at this whisper. Now this whisper has 2 high digits on it. Now the nature of whispers, let's just talk a bit about those because they do have secrets associated with them. First point, can you put 5 on a green cell? Ever? No. And that's because we know that the adjacent digit has to be at least 5 different from 5. If we go up, we get to 10, which is not a Sudoku digit. If we go down, we get to 0, which is also not a Sudoku digit. And anything more extreme is clearly even more nonsensical. So 5 doesn't appear in green. And the thing that we have to realise then is, let's say this is lower than 5. If this is a lower than 5 digit, this cannot also be a lower than 5 digit, because even if this was 4 and 1, they wouldn't be sufficiently far apart. So you get this oscillation. Every time we pinpoint a digit on the size of a digit on a green line, the next digit has to be the opposite polarity. Now we now know that this line has 2 high digits on it, so they must be in these positions. This digit therefore has to be from the low polarity, and it's got to be at least 5 different from 7, which means it's a 1 or a 2 in theory, but it can't be a 1. Because if it's a 1, in fact, there's a few reasons it can't be a 1, but we've just worked out 1 is not circled, so it's a 2. And that's our second digit in the puzzle. Now, okay, so where are we up to then? We've got 8. We've got 8, 7, 6, which is 21, and 2, which is 23. So we need 7 more's worth of circles, but only 1 odd digit to do. Well, it's not 5 then. Because if it was 5, well, the way to get to 7 would be to add another 2, but we've already used the 2. So it must be 3. It must be 3. It's 3 and 4. It's 3 and 4. That's the way we're going to achieve our extra 7. So now I think that's a 3. Because we know it's the odd digit to allow the odd digit to exist. And now we know that there are two circled 3s in the corners, and 1 circled 3 and this 3 in blue in the ring. And I don't think I know how to do that. Okay, so let's think this through. So now I know, so now I know the exact disposition of the circles. It is all the even digits, 8, 6, 4, 2, and then 3 and 7 as my odd digits. So if I was Mark, I would now pencil mark all of these, but I won't do that. I've got to put 4 7s in the boxes. So that is true. Those are not 7s, those are not 7s. So 7... Okay, right. I know where the 7 goes in box 1. Because if the 7 was in the corner, the only 2 digits that could touch 7 on a whisper are 1 and 2, and that would make 1 a circled digit, which we know it's not. So 7 here has to be in exactly that position. This must be a 2 in the corner because there are no circled 1s. And this digit is an 8. The reason it's 8 is it's high, so it's 6, 7, 8 or 9 by polarity along green. 6 is impossible because it's too close to 2. 9 is impossible because it would be circled and there are no circled 9s. So it has to be 8. Oh, Marty, you are such a... He's just an absolute legend. It's just ridiculous. So now... Okay, now we've done a bit more. We've got... Oh. Oh, can I do something? Well, I don't know if I can do that. I can see something with this parity line. The sort of corners of this parity line are going to be the same polarity, or the same parity. So if this was 7, that couldn't be 8, because if that's 7, that needs to be odd. So what you're going to have is a horizontal domino of 7 and 8, either there or there. Now, I don't think I know which of those is true, but it is true to say that it's either going to be 7, 8 there, or 7, 8 there. Oh, okay, I've seen something else with that line that I might want to think about. All right, let me mull this over. Hang on, how do we do this with some sort of aplomb? Because we have actually got quite a lot of lines left to use here. Is it to do with 6s? There's obviously going to be 3 6s in blue. And I've got 2 of them so far. And there's going to be 3 6s in orange. Oh, 7. Right, 7 is on this Renban line here. So it might have... Oh, well, okay. Yeah, this is good. There's no 5. 5 is not circled. So this must be 876. There's no way it cannot. It must be 876. There's no other 3-cell sequence involving a 7 that we can construct. Okay, all right. Now I'm going to go. Oh, so if I'd done this in a different order, it would have worked better. But now I'm going to go back over here because this can't be 7, 8 now. Remember we said one of these dominoes was 7, 8. Well, it's not the bottom one because both of those would have to be a 6. So it's 7, 8 here. 7, 8. That's 6. This is 7, 8. We know the order using the power of Sudoku, a power I try to use as little as possible. Okay, so this is odd. And if we've been paying attention, we'll know there's only 2 odd digits in this puzzle in circles, 3 and 7, so that's got to be a 3. This is even, so it's 2, 4. No, it's 4 or 6. It's not 2 because of the corner. And this is an 8 in the corner by Sudoku. Now what do we do? Well, one of those is a 9. Because remember what we said about green lines, they oscillate polarity. They go up and down, up and down. So those 2 cells have to include a high number, i.e. a 6, 7, 8 or 9. And they can't be 6, 7 or 8. So there's a 9 in one of those. We probably know which one if we... Oh, well... Okay, I'm going to come back to this line, I think. Yeah. Okay, this line is actually very beautiful, this line. This line is 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a consecutive sequence, and it hasn't got 7 or 8 on it, because these are 7s and 8s, these are 7s and 8s, and there's a 7 and 8 here. So there's no 7 or 8 on here. But there's also no 2 on it, because the 2 in the corner sees every single cell on that purple line. So it's only constructible, if you like, if that's a word. Yeah, it probably is. It's only constructible from the digits 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's what it is. And therefore, that is not 3. For 2 reasons. Or 6, actually. Oh, that's not 6. That's... Oh, I see. So we can put this... Oh, no, hang on. That's not true. I was going to say that can't be 6 because I was suddenly assuming that this was 6, 7, 8, which it certainly isn't. Oh, dear. Okay, so I don't know how to do that. I'm resisting it manfully. But, oh, there must be a 9 on there. There's a little green line here. It must have a high digit on it. It can't be 6, 7, 8. So this is 9 and either 1, 2, 3 or 4, not 2. 1, 3, 4. I mean, I could pencil mark it. I'm not going to. That'd be 6, 1, perhaps. It might be something to do with digits like 1 or 5, because... Yeah, I mean, 5 is very restricted in this box, isn't it? Because 5 can never go on a green line, and it's not circled, so 5 is in one of those two cells. Okay, so let me think about this. So what were... This digit has to be even, because it can't be either of the odd circled numbers. So that is 2 or 4. This digit has to be even, and that has to be 2 or 4. Ah, I see. Yes. I have already had my 2 circled 2s. They already exist. So this has got to be 4. And that's got to be 4. And now I've got my 2 4s in blue. There can't be any more 4s in blue, otherwise I'd have to put 3 4s in orange as well, and that won't work. So, okay, so one of these is a 4, that I am seeing. And the only place for the sort of 4th 4 in orange now is here, look, by Sudoku. So that's a 4 in the corner. A 4 in the spotlight. No, that doesn't really work, does it? 5. This isn't... Okay, that's 3 or 6. 1, 2 and 9 to put into row 3. It's a slightly desperate series of pencil marks, but we'll do it. 5 comes out of here and here, because 5's appeared on the purple line already. And what does that mean, I wonder? The answer is I'm not sure yet, but probably something. I'm sure it means something. 6s. How many 6s have I got? I've got to have 3 in orange. I've only got 1 at the moment, so that's got to be a 6. That's got to be a 4. That's got to be a 6. That's got to be a 3, 4, 6 here. This puzzle, it's spectacularly clever. What's the high digit on that green line now? Because it's not 6, 7 or 8, so it's 9, and we know where it goes. So that's 9. This is a 1, 3 or a 4. I am prepared to make that pencil mark. That feels... Oh, it's not 3. 1 or 4. Okay, so this... Oh, where's 2? Where's 2 in column thingy? The technical term for column 2. This is a 1, 4 pair now. So these squares are a 3, 5 pair. And this square is a 1 or a 9 in column 1. And, well, I wonder. So, what have I got left to put into these circles now? Is it... It's 3, isn't it? Right, no, so what I'm looking at is oranges. I know that there are 2 3s in here and 2 3s in orange. I've only got 1 3 in orange at the moment, so I've got to put another one in. It's going to go there. And now by Sudoku, this is 3, 7, 8. And 3 and 7 are both odd. So they've got to be at the extreme ends of the parity line with a little old 8 in the middle. That's no longer an 8. And I'm sure I know what this is. I'm going to say 6. Yeah, there must be 3 6s in the ring, so that's a 6. And now we need 1, 5 and 9 into column 3. Oh, and 1, 5 and 9 are all odd, so that's not resolving this digit. This is even, which is 2 or 6, I think. It seems 4 and 8. Okay. We probably... Where do we think we look? Oh, I see it. I see it. Look, I could have done this before. Look at the green line. That cell, it cannot be high because it sees 6, 7, 8 and 9. So it's low of some description, not 4, because of this, which means this is high, and that's got to be the 9. So this is low and is 1 or 2. I don't know if we know which. This is high again, and this is 6 or 9. Oh no. Okay. 2, 3. This little old thing now is a 4-5 pair. How do I know that? Well, it's looking at the row. It can't be a 1-2 pair. That's going to break this square. It can't involve 3. It is 4-5. It can't involve 6, 7, 8. And if we put 9 on it, it would have to be 9 and 8. And that's going to break for all sorts of reasons. So this is 4-5. That's no longer a 5. This is 1, 2, or 9. Bobbins. I think this is bobbins is the expression we're looking for there. And all we've got to do now is that's not a 9 by Sudoku. That's 1 or 2. Which is probably important. But I don't know why. That's not 5 because of this 5. There's a 1-9 pair in this column. So this is a 5. That's great. So this is a 5. That means... oh, nearly. So 5's in one of 2 places in box 6. And 5's in one of 2 places in box 3, but it can't be on the green line, so it must go there, which means it's in one of those 3 cells. Apparently we don't know which one. Now this square is 1, 2, or 9. Now that is on a green line, so can that be a 9? Yes, I mean that's the only high digit it could be. Otherwise it's a 1 or a 3, so this is 1, 3, or 9. I don't know, that doesn't seem to be resolved, does it? Not sure. Okay, what have we got here then? Oh, we've got a 1-2 pair. Aha! So this is a 9. So this is definitely not a 9, it's a 1 or a 3. That's not a 9. 9 is placed in box 2 here. So 9 is placed in box 1. So 9 is placed in box 7. And this isn't a 9 anymore. And we can probably do other things now. I don't know what those things are, but we can probably do them. This is... that square's restricted because it can't be high anymore. It sees 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Is 1, 2 or 3? Is that possible? Oh, that right. That's beautiful. Okay, look at this. This is a parity line, don't forget. So it has to have an even digit on it. Which even digit does that red line have on it? It's 2, and I don't care where it goes. Oh, this is gorgeous, because wherever the 2 goes, and there must be a 2 on it, it sees that cell. If this was a 2, you could not put an even digit on this red parity line, so that must be a 1. And that bounces straight over here and makes this a 2. So this has to be a 3 by Sudoku. Oh, this is just superb. It's superb. Okay, so I've done this column basically. I haven't put 9 into it. So this is 1 or 4. Whoa, that was exciting. 1 or 4. There's a 1-4 pair in row 5. Maverick is about to fly over. Hello, Maverick. Hello, Maverick, my old friend. It's nice to hear from you again. Okay, that can't be a 5 now because this is a parity line, so that has to be even. And it is a 2. It sees all the other even digits. 2. Oh. No. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, where's 2 in box 8? And the answer is I don't know. But it is in those 2 cells. So now that, if you look at it, there are 4 2s, effectively, looking at the central box. There's this 2, a 2 in one of those, this 2 and this 2. So I can put a 2 there. That must be 2. Nine in the central box is in one of those 2 cells. No, it's not. Where's 9 in box 8? Sorry, that's probably been available for ages. I just didn't notice that. So that puts 9 in the middle box. Now this digit is 1 or 6. And that's probably doable. I don't know why. I've very nearly pencil marked every cell in the puzzle, which is completely... It's barbaric, isn't it? That square isn't a 6 by Sudoku. There's a 7-8 pair in row 4. So I haven't put in 1s, 4s and 5s. That looks like it's going to do something. That can't be 4. Oh, no. Okay, no, maybe it doesn't then. This is a parity line, isn't it? So it's got to oscillate parity. Okay, I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I think that's... Is it... It's almost the only line we've got to deal with. I mean, there's some residual pencil marks we've got dotted around the piece, but there's nothing major, I don't think. What are these squares up here then? Ah, well, that's a 3. Right, so these 2 squares are a 1-5 pair. Right, that's a 1-5. That's big. Look at column 4. I've got a 1-5 pair. That makes this a 2. That a 2. That a 1. That a 6. That a 1. There we go. This is now doing things. 4-5 pair in column 5. So, what is it? 3, 6, 7 into the gap. So these are 3, 6, 7. What about this one then? It's got to have the same parity as that one. So, if this was 4, this has to be 6. And that is... Oh, actually that might be okay. Bother. Bother. Okay. Oh dear. What am I... Oh, 3. There we go. Sorry. It's of course Sudoku, which I'm not doing. Never mind. So I now... This digit is not 6, so this must be a 7 or an 8. Which, rather annoyingly, has 2 different parity options. Hang on, what am I missing here? 4, 5, 3, 6, 7. There's definitely a 3 in one of those 2 cells. It's probably this digit, isn't it? That's probably the one I need to focus on. Let me just mull that over. So hang on. What have we got in this column? 1, 4, 5, 6, 8. Yeah, but that sees a 1, 4 pair. So this is 5, 6 or 8. And... yeah, I've got it. Okay, this is very lovely as well. Look at those 2 squares. Now, if this is 4, what's this? It has to not be even parity if this is 4, so it's going to be 5. So one of those 2 squares is a 5. Either this is itself a 5, or because this is a 4, that has to be a 5. So 5 in box 5 is in one of those 2 positions, and this square here is a 1, isn't it? It just keeps giving. It's just absolutely ridiculous, this puzzle. Now, oh, no, actually that doesn't do this. Okay. Sorry. Sorry if you can see how to do it and you're getting cross with me. That would be completely legitimate. 7, 8. 3, 6, 7. What's going on here? Am I going to have to do this digit as well? 1, 2, 3. So 4, 5, 6, 8. 4, 5, 6, 8. Now, surely I can get rid of some things from this. 5 we know is out. 5 is definitely in those squares. So 4, 6, 8. So if this was not 4, there would be a 6, 7, 8 triple there. And that would be a 3. 3, 8. Oh, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. I mean, that's quite complicated, actually. Yeah, there may be a different way of seeing this, but this is a 4. Let me try and show you why. If this is anything other than 4, you can see it's going to be a 6 or an 8, and those 3 digits in row 6 are going to be a 6, 7, 8 triple. Let me show you. There. Now that makes this a 3. But now I need these two to both be even. And the only options they have are 8 and 6. And that's going to break this cell. So that can't work that way. This has to be a 4. So that's a 4 and that's a 5. So that's a 5 now, because we know one of these two was a 5, and that's got the parity of this sorted out. So that's got, oh no, it's still, well, it has in a way. This is now odd. So these are both even. So this is 8, this is 6. This is a 3, 3, 7 pair. My voice tries to give out. But no, this is a 7 by Sudoku. So 7, 8, 6, 7, 3, 3, 5. Trampoline wars are properly back on again. 7 here, 6 here, 8 here, 4. Oh, this is it. 4, 1, 5, 1, 4. Genius. That is not me, of course. This is absolutely a genius puzzle. Marty Sears, again, take a bow. That is quite brilliant. Nearly, well, not nearly 2 years old, but certainly well over a year old. Absolutely, that is wonderful. Just ridiculously wonderful. It's such a cool idea to note that the ring and the corners are going to have an even number of digits overall, and then to circle almost all of them. It's comically brilliant, isn't it? It's just comically brilliant. I love that. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.